What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. This is Justin here, SiteSwan, and I'm so excited to do today's Ask Me Anything session, to which I think 14 of you have been so polite to send questions ahead of time, which is super, super helpful, so that we can make sure everyone's questions are properly answered. Before we begin, I want to introduce you to the Questions tab. Let me know you can see and hear me. Say hello, and you're going to get a response from one of my dedicated moderators who are eagerly standing by, waiting to respond to you. And we also like to start these things off with some wins. For those of you who are first timers here, welcome. You're brand new to SiteSwan. I see a lot of you, however, who have been with us for quite some time. Some of you I happen to know very well. I would like you to give me one win from the last couple of weeks. Anything positive that's happened in your web design business initiative over the last couple of weeks, I want to hear all about it. As you're probably noticing, you cannot see what other people are asking or saying in the questions tab. That's designed that way so that there's no distractions. So you can say whatever you want in that questions, and I promise I will use my discretion when repeating it out loud. I don't use last names. I don't use identifying details. So don't be shy. Say what you will, and I promise we will respect it. So I want to hear about some wins. And first up is Mike, who some of you perhaps have come to know because Mike is on our YouTube now. If you guys haven't seen this interview yet, I suggest you go there and check the two of me. And right over, why is he last? Doesn't deserve to be last. Check this interview out with Mike. Very, very powerful stuff. Very, very, very good conversation that we had. All right. Anyway, so Mike's got a win for us. Mike said, sold a second site to an already existing client for his medical practice. And I booked a free website demo next Tuesday for a trailer rental company. Guys, if you haven't seen this trailer rental theme that we have, it is awesome. Let me just quickly find it for you because all of you are probably going to say, wait a second, I should be selling sites to trailer rental companies. This came out so nice. These types of businesses, very niche, and you will be surprised on how many opportunities there are to sell to businesses in these niche industries. Great job on that, Mike. Thanks for sharing that. Chelsea says she's in her first 2 months and she's launched 4 websites and have 4 more in the works. That is awesome. Roger is saying hello from himself and from Beth. Lisa's got a question we're going to get answered. Hey, Ian. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Denise. Rachel's first time here. Welcome, Rachel. Very excited to have you. Christy, this is cool. Christy got in touch with a new lead whose business she saw on TV. And as another prospect that they've been waiting to talk to who is signing up for a new site. That's so cool. Denise says, switch screens. Am I large and my screen is small? Is that what's going on? I thought I fixed it before everyone got on. Let me just do it one more time. Nope, that's not it. All right. Hopefully that fixes it for you. Manny has launched 1 new site and got 2 demos today. Hey, 1 in an hour. All right. So I'm not going to be suspicious when you log off in 56 minutes here, assuming we're still on. Ian says, I'm building a membership for $1,000. I want to hear about that. I want to hear all about that. Roger says, I fixed my screen issue. That's good. Alexis, this is month 3 for Alexis. Haven't closed the sale yet, but generating great leads with family and friends of friends. Close to launching her first. Just needs some expertise today to button it up. Well, Alexis, whatever I can do to help you on that, please do not be shy. Ask away. Kevin's got a new asphalt paving company for $350 per month. Listen up, folks. Kevin just sold an asphalt paving company for $350 per month. Tell us, Kevin, was there anything else you included besides the website in that offer? It's a great price. We'd love to hear about it. Let's see what else we got here. Manny says, I've been shocked at how many businesses I reach out to. that have no website and are and are completely against seeing a free website design. Manny, keep trying. All I gotta say is keep trying, keep going. You will be surprised. Just because someone says no, it's just short for not now. Keep trying. You will break them down and get them. Stay consistent. Denise also said she loves the RV tank cleaning theme that we launched. I happen to agree. This is another dynamite theme. Again, niche industry, like, huh? RV tank cleaning? Yes, it's a thing. And it's these folks need websites just like everybody else. Chelsea, oh, look at this. Chelsea's web design business just got their first 5-star review yesterday. That is awesome. Put that on social media, Chelsea. Make sure you take that 5-star review and use it as marketing collateral. All right, let's get into it. This is exciting. A lot of great stuff. Thank you for being so open and honest here. Oh, Kevin follows it up. In the process of developing my own ADA accessibility software, and yes, I'm also helping in managing their Google business profile. So using the Google Business Profile as a tool to help optimize it is what's helping Kevin justify the $350 per month. And that is a very valuable service that does take some time to manage, but I'm glad you're getting into other things that are perfectly complementary to websites. A lot of you are going to find that once you have the website sale and you have that relationship, it opens up a ton of opportunities to sell other stuff that are adjacent to websites, social media, text message marketing, email marketing, print design, business cards, all this fun stuff. Brian sold a process server business and working on a condo website. Awesome. Manny asking for a mobile car detailing theme. Don't we have this? We have auto detailing. Why did I think that we had a mobile auto detailing theme? I think we talked about it and we just didn't do it. Is that possible? Maybe. We have the mobile truck repair, mobile mechanic, lots of different mobile stuff. Auto tinting. We don't have the mobile detailing. All right. I like it. Remember, this is a reminder to everybody. If you have a theme that you are dead set that you need to have in order to sell something to somebody, and you don't feel like customizing what we have to make it suitable, we do offer custom theme designs. It's 99 bucks. It's a one-time charge, takes a little less than a week, and we'll have a fully custom brand new theme for you to use to sell to your client. And I just will tag it with someone else who asked a question about this and said, "Hey, let me find the person who asked this." It was, where is it? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I think it's Gail. That's how you pronounce Gail. Gail says, what if you offer to do a theme for a client business and they don't want it? And I paid your team 99 bucks. How can I compensate my money that I pay for this if they decided they don't want it after completion? Well, Gail, there's a lot of other businesses in that industry that you can sell that site to. Most people who come to us asking for a custom theme design are in a position where they know that they feel it. They've got this client sold. They know it. They're responsive. They're getting back to them. They might have discussed pricing already. They're hooked. So they pay us the 99 bucks. We do the theme. Less than a week, you got this design to show to them. If by some chance you can't get that person to close, just sell it to a different business in that industry. You already know a decent amount about that industry because you had all these conversations with this company. And if they choose not to move forward with you, go make sure you sell it to somebody else. Do not give up just because one person turned you down in that industry. There's lots and lots of other opportunities. All right. Let's get into the questions you guys have submitted ahead of time because these were actually really good today. Not that they're not always good, but these were very good. Okay. Ready? On your mark, get set. Here we go. Florence said, how do you insert a web link? Now, this, you guys would be like, I know, just put the link in. There's a couple different ways to do it. I'm not sure why you're putting in a website link. I'll tell you this, lots of times on small business websites, sending people off the site is exactly what you don't want to do. You want to keep them on the site. A good example of why you want to add a website link is going to go to what someone else asked, and that was about integrating um, food ordering through a service like Toast. Lorenza asked about this. She goes, "How does SiteSwan companies compare with like a restaurant platform like Square or Toast? Can the two of them work together in some way?" And the short answer is yes. What you would do is you would go to your site and create a button that says "Order online," and then you take that link that Toast gives you and you attach it to the button. How do you do that? Let's pretend for a moment that this is an order now button. Actually, let's just change it. I'm going to clone this post. Let's all use our imagination. This is a restaurant website, and this says order your food online now. Let's just do that. Order your meal online now. Great. Pickup or delivery, it's up to you. Click below to start your order. Fantastic. The button now says get a free quote. Let's change that. We're going to change it to say order now. And instead of page on my site, which happens to be the default in this situation, I'm going to go to URL. And then from here, I'm going to paste in that URL. So if it's Toast, if it's Square, if it's DoorDash, if it's whatever, you're going to paste that URL in here. You could change your button color if you want to, change your text color if you'd like to, and then click OK. And then, well, I had to put in a URL in order for this to work. Whatever. So once I've done that, I could save my changes, and now this is live on the site. By the way, for those of you who are wondering this little detail, if you don't like the style of this button, you can go and change that from your design dropdown, go to buttons, and you'll notice that you can change the radius, which means this circle-y rounded corner. You can take it down all the way to where it's a hard edge, a formal rectangle. And you can also turn on or off the border, which is a slightly darker hue of the color that goes around the edge. And you can also add or remove the shadow that goes behind the button, okay? So in case you wanted to, you can modify the look of any of the buttons on the site, and this is a global change that happens across the entire site, okay? Okay. So that's how you add a link, and that's how you take care of we did 2 questions in one there. That's how you take care of hooking up an order now solution like Toast to a SiteSwan website. Florence also asked, I read that it's best to pitch benefits and not the product itself. That's absolutely right, Florence. This is a kind of bigger sales question. And generally speaking, it is much better to focus on what the benefits are, what the client's going to get out of this, as opposed to what the product consists of. The one thing I will say to that is that when it comes to websites in 2025, it's become the type of thing where a lot of businesses know and understand what the benefits are of a website. The biggest issues might occur when someone says, I don't need a website. Your response to them is not going to be, well, you need something that's going to be HTML5 and mobile responsive and will be able to load really fast on any device. You're leading with the product there. But if someone says, I don't think I need a website, you're going to lead with the benefits. Well, what about the people who are looking to learn about your business on off hours when you guys aren't open and they want answers to easy questions that you can easily display the answers to on a site they can access from any device? Um, what about the fact that a lot of your competitors are with a pretty strong online presence and you're perhaps getting looked at as the last choice of potential businesses in your industry to choose because you don't have a formidable website that tells a good story and represents your business in a way that puts you in the best light possible. So if you do focus on the benefits, I think you will find you will have a better success selling the site. And that also correlates to the resources section of our dashboard has all these training videos. And where you actually close the sale is on lesson number 9, which is how to present a website demo to a prospect. And what's really interesting about this methodology that we developed is that when you are showing off the site to the client, you're not saying, oh, look at this orange button that we added to your site that says order now. Isn't that nice? You're actually pretending that your client is asking you, why is this on my site? And you're answering that before they even get a chance to ask it. So you're saying, going back to this example, um, you'll notice the very first thing that people will see when they come to the site is a beautiful image of a home so that people who are looking for real estate appraisals can understand that the types of homes that they might be looking for an appraisal on align very well with what you specialize in because of the imagery we're using on the site. We're featuring key terminology that's going to help your site get found in local search results when people are searching for real estate appraisals in this city and state. And then we have a link that takes people directly to get a free quote because when people first come to the site, if they immediately like what they see, we capitalize on that first impression and get them to submit their information before they even need to scroll. This is what we call a call to action that's very effective. So we very much encourage you to focus on benefits so that they can see essentially how this benefits them. And that's why people buy. They buy because they want some sort of advantage. They want their life to be easier. They want things to be better. And that's what a website can essentially get them. Florence also asked if we can go through a demo payment, please. Now, this was also asked by someone else in a different way. So let me just find it. Um, where is it? Someone asked about waiving the setup fee. There it is. Brian. Brian A said, I closed my first deal on July 16th. Congratulations. Using the waiving the setup fee promotion, but have not yet collected the recurring monthly payment. The client will pay monthly recurring payment next week when the site goes live. I stammered through the presentation. I wasn't sure if I should be asking for the recurring monthly payment up front or if I should wait until, in fact, the site launches. So that's a great, great question to ask, and something that perhaps, yes, we should perhaps specify a recommendation on that, but it is something that you would be wise to think about beforehand. So I do want everyone to take a moment and think, if you were to waive the setup fee for a client site, I'm kind of curious if everyone here thinks, because I have my own opinions. If you waive the setup fee for your client site, when do you charge them the first monthly payment? So go ahead in the questions tab and just let's hear everyone's answers because I'm kind of curious what you guys all think about this. If you're going to waive the setup fee, when do you charge the client their first monthly payment? Okay. I have about 6 answers so far. Keep them coming. I'm going to start reading them off. All right. Jason says immediately. Lisa says a month later. Christy says I would charge upon signing up, which sounds like immediate to me. Chelsea says we did it when the site went live. Brian says I would charge monthly payment 30 days out. Rachel says when the site is live. Ian says when the site goes live. Robert says when the site goes live. Kevin says after the site's live. Lisa says then and there right away. Denise says when I waive the setup fee, I charge the first month immediately. James says I would charge them that same day since the setup fee is waived. Manny says whenever you want recurring revenue, baby. Dawn says 30 days later. Winnie says I start the billing with the first month the site launches, which for me is always the end of that month. Mike says I tell them they'll be charged 7 days after the demo. That way I don't feel like I'm bothering them asking for the monthly fee right away on the call. So a 7-day trial almost. Ooh, I like that one, Mike. Alexa says when the site goes live. Roger says charge them 30 days after going live. Pam says 15 days after site is live. Okay. So obviously everyone agrees it's within the first 30 days, but a large majority of you sound like you are ready to charge it when the site goes live. And I kind of like that, but the only reason why I object to that method is that sometimes the business owner, either consciously or subconsciously, or something out of their, not really out of their control, it's usually because of them, they delay. They delay. So what ends up happening is that you end up pushing back your first payment because things aren't happening as fast as they need to be happening. You're doing everything on your end. They are not giving you the domain credentials or whatever else. So what I always like to do is I like to set a date for when the first payment's going to go through so that they have it in their head that I got to get everything I need to Justin by this date to make sure that I'm not essentially wasting money. There's nothing wrong with charging the setup fee right away. I'm sorry, the first monthly fee right away up front, because a lot of our clients actually will incorporate the first monthly fee into their setup fee, and then the monthly fee just starts again a month after that. So I don't like waiting for the client to get paid. I do like to make sure that I set the tone for how this is going to go. I'm doing everything on my end. I'm giving you a setup fee for free. So all I'm asking is that we get this site launched very quickly and the site starts to get paid for. So that would be my suggestion is set a date. I think Mike's is a really good one of 7 days. One of the things I like to do, and this is going to get a little bit deep for some of you, but as you start building past 10 sites, past 20 sites, past 30 sites, this becomes a little bit of a thing. So what I don't like is seeing those Stripe payments hit the bank account every day. I know you might be like, what? Why would you say that? Like, that's great to have money coming in every day. Yes, but it's actually when you're gonna start to reconcile your books and stuff, it's actually really easy if you don't have all these individual payments coming out. Like if you have 30 clients and you have 30 different deposits coming from Stripe every single day of the month, that's kind of annoying. However, if you could spread them out to only certain days of the month, that makes things, I think, a lot easier to tolerate, a lot easier to expect. So, my personal preference on this, if you want to jot this down, it's worked for me very well. I do recommend it. Is you do this. You put payments through on the 1st, on the 7th, on the 14th, on the 21st, and the 28th. Those are the only days that small business clients will pay me for a website. The 1st, the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, the 28th. The logic is this. If someone says yes to their website on the 22nd of the month, okay? I don't want to wait until the 1st of the next month or the 15th of the following month or whatever else before I get their payment through. And then it also makes it easier for me to just say, you know what? If today's the 26th or is it 22nd, whatever, I'm going to give them the date of the 28th. It's 6 days out. And I'll say, all right, well, your first payment's due to go through on the 28th of this month. So we have 6 whole days to get this site ready to launch. Now, the good news is that's all on me. All I need from you is the domain name and a once over of the site when it's done so we can get this thing launched. In fact, I'm probably going to launch it anyway since you don't have a setup right now, and we can always make changes later on. If someone's signing up with you on let's just say uh, the 13th of the month or the 12th of the month, okay? You don't have to go to the 14th. You can go to the 21st. So now you extend it. Like, the payment date I have set up for you is the 21st this month. That gives us 11 days to get the site completely ready to go. We're probably going to launch it before that, but just so you know, the first payment's going to go through on the 21st. For those of you who do have this opinion of charging right away for it, I still would prefer that I still would prefer that you have these set dates in your mind that like if they sign up 2 days, the 25th, I would probably still just set up their first payment for the 28th and say, all right, great. Your first payment's going to go through on the 28th. This is the mindset of I'm charging right now. Okay. 3 days is no big deal. I'm going to charge it on the 28th. That's your first payment. Get this thing up and running right away. And we take it from there. That is my suggestion. Love it or hate it, let me know. All right. So we wanted to demonstrate how this all happens. So let's say I sold this site to First Line Appraisals. What's going to happen is I go to my site details page. All right, so let's pretend. I'm going to go to my site details page, click Setup, Upfront, and Recurring Fee. And when I do that, I'm going to choose the plan I sold them on. So let's say I sold them on the $79 a month plan. I waive the setup fee. So I'm going to click edit and zero this out. Okay. And then my recurring charge is set to go through on what date? Now, little tip for you guys. You cannot set this date to be more than 30 days in advance. So don't try to set this for the 28th of August. It's not going to accept it. If you use my strategy, the furthest date that I would ever set my first payment to be would be August 21st. But in this scenario, I would actually change it to either the 28th or August 1st, depending on what my philosophy is, that they should be charged right now or they should be charged when the site launches. So that's how I would do that. I would enter the credit card number, or I would send the client this link by copying and pasting it, just clicking here. They would see something like this that they would type their card number into, and you can do this while you're talking to them. Say, oh, hey, I'm so glad you like this. Let's get you set up for your first payment. I'm texting you a link right now, or I'm emailing you a link right now that you're going to type your card number in and click submit. Let me know when you do it. And what's cool is that when they have done it, all you got to do is refresh this page and you're going to see their card number populate here. You won't see the whole card number. You'll just see that there is a card now associated with this site, and you'll be able to process their first charge whenever it is that you've agreed to do it. Okay? For those of you, I'm not going to take it any further. I'll stop there because I have another way to just muddy this, and I'm not going to do that. All right. What's next? Tim. Tim, I need some clarification on this because Tim wrote in, there's been no improvement with the add-on for SEO. What exactly do you mean for that? Because we don't have a oh, you're probably talking about search engine submission. If you're talking about search engine submission, how long has it been since you got the site set up with search engine submission? Sometimes if it's a brand new site, it might take a little while, but it's going to expedite whatever the process would normally be for getting the search engines to see your site. If you are looking for further enhancement for SEO purposes, and I take it this is probably for your own website, I want to assure you a couple of things. Getting a brand new site like your web design services to start coming up first in local search for an industry that I'll say, web developers for the most part are a little more savvy, generally speaking, about SEO than a landscaper or contractor or a RV tank cleaning company would be. So the expectation that your site's going to rise to the top of search results immediately in a relatively somewhat crowded market is a little unrealistic. So what I want you to focus on is not so much making sure that your website's going to appear first, because that's ultimately not what's going to drive your business forward. The number one tool that you have to start winning clients right from the get-go, which quite honestly, even if you didn't have a marketing site, you'd be fine, is to follow the 14-day launch plan. This day next week, we're doing a session on the 14-day launch plan. I'm going to walk you all through it from start to finish. I'm going to give you some highlights of each of the phases. And Tim, if you're looking to sell sites, if you're looking to close some deals quickly, do this instead. Stop worrying about your site's SEO and focus on doing the social outreach, the warm outreach, and the cold outreach, which are the three primary phases of the 14-day launch plan. You will not regret putting in the work. Now, if, however, that you're not talking about your own site and you're talking about your client's site, or even if you are talking about your own site, whatever, the best recommendation I have for you is to come to the resources section of the dashboard, and I want you to find our SEO reference guide and our SEO checklist. Right here, freshly redesigned. And this SEO checklist is going to help you literally check off all the things you need to do to make sure the site is optimized to perform as soon as possible in search results. And when you pair it with the search engine submission, you are ripe for results. All right. What do we got? Ian. Let's hear from Ian, who says, I'm raising my prices. I love these questions. Ian says, I've created 2 sites for the top attorney in probate and estate planning, and I'm finishing a website for a local alderman. What is an alderman? I have no idea what that is. Elected member of municipal Oh, okay, cool. So you use the we have a good theme for uh political candidates. I'm not sure if this would qualify. Municipal council. I don't know. Don't know. Am I the only person who didn't know what alderman meant? I feel a little dumb right now. So he says, I'm raising my prices to $2,000 to $3,000 per site with some added services that'll bring a standard $300 per month. I'd like your opinion. Go. Do it, Ian. Absolutely 100%. I will only say this. You are talking about a couple of industries where these businesses generally have higher levels of revenue than a typical, well, not typical, but they're on the upper end of revenue generating small businesses. Attorneys, I don't know, people who run for this type of thing, maybe they have, they have spare time, therefore they have got some money. Generally speaking, I think those go hand in hand. And then I think just be aware of your surroundings and who you go after. If you're going to a rinky-dink, broken down, used tire shop, you might not be able to command the same dollar amount when they're selling, $25 uh, fix-a-flats as opposed to a probate and estate planning attorney who's signing $5,000 retainers. Okay. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Know your surroundings, know your audience when you're pitching, and just try to go into it with the mindset of just like you wouldn't go dress the same. If you were to visit with these 2 people, you'd probably show up in an attorney's office looking slightly different than if you showed up at a fix-a-flat place. So just keep that in the back of your head. But I love the fact that you're going up market. And if you just focus on those types of clients, like those attorneys and these alderman type folks, get into their network, see who they know, see who they can recommend to you, see who they can refer you to. And I think you'll be just fine sticking with that higher price point and those added options that are important to people like that. All right. Linton said, would you recommend designing a website to showcase multiple businesses under one domain? Almost never. Almost never. I don't think I've ever seen that work well. The only thing I would say, if um, maybe there's a restaurant group and they own multiple different restaurants, totally different cuisines, different audiences, but they're adamant that they want their restaurant group name to have some sort of clout in the industry. I don't know. Build a website for their restaurant group name. A simple website. It's like a one pager. It's got links to all of the other restaurants that you're going to build those sites separately. But I can almost never recommend having multiple different businesses in their one domain. Unless you're building a business directory website, which if you are, then that's a totally different story. Check out our sister company, idealdirectories.com. You can create a really cool business directory for your town or city, list a bunch of businesses on it. And it's actually a great way to get clients hooked on some uh, local online presence, and then you can upsell them to a website. It actually works really good. All right. What else we got here? What else? Let me just quickly switch gears to see what you guys are saying on here to make sure I'm not completely skipping over what you guys are asking me to talk about. Lisa says, how do people find email addresses for small business prospecting and email campaigns? So, Lisa, the best way, Women's a Chicago thing? I didn't know that. Wait, am I going? Is it 1:33 a.m. by you? Where are you pinging from, Lisa? All right, so let's see. Which one came first? Top or bottom? Top. All right, let me start with the top. Lisa, I cannot change the brand color. I changed it yesterday, but it will not let me change it again. Lisa, send me the link to the site in the questions tab, and we will go over it together. I would love to do this live with you. Evie says, I have a customer that wants a social media management, Facebook, Instagram, and probably TikTok. What can I do? Well, if you talk to Mike, who is one of our resellers, Mike right here in this interview, he would say, do it yourself like I'm doing it. Mike's charging upwards of $400 a month to manage Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else for the clients. And he finds it very rewarding, a lot of fun, and something I think he would highly recommend to anybody. Um, Alternatively, you can find someone locally who would be interested in doing this, and perhaps you can upsell it. So maybe they're charging a few $100 a month. You turn around and charge it, $500, $600, $700 a month. Or you can just hook up with someone who does this kind of thing if it's totally not your thing at all, and then build a referral business with them where you can send them some deals and they might give you a little kickback and they give you some deals and you give them a kickback. It could be a nice symbiotic relationship if you were to figure out something like that. Manny also recommended go to Upwork or Fiverr for something. Cool. All right, let's dig into Lisa's marketing site and see if we can figure out how to get this thing working. All right, so what I'm going to do, and I assume I have your permission to show everyone your site. What? I'm not logged in. Come on, dude. Damn. I have not been logged in. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal to you, but I have this was a goofy move. I have two-level authentication, two-factor authentication that I need my phone for. And my phone I'm using for my video right now. So I'm gonna try and switch my camera if this works. I've never tried switching a camera live on Livestorm. Let's see if this is gonna work. We're always doing something new. Hey, I think I did it. Yes. All right. Okay, sorry to make you guys wait. Just try to be doing it the secure way. Doing it the secure way. All right. I'm going to find your site, Lisa. I think I know exactly what's going on, but I would prefer to walk you through this so you can understand what it is. By the way, your domain name is not pointed to your site properly. Lisa, it's never too soon to get your domain pointed to your site, okay? Never too soon. I don't care if brand colors are off. I don't care if something's not right. Launch the site. The sooner you get your site found, submitted to search engines in the system, the better it's going to be for everybody. Now, I have some other recommendations for you, but let's focus on the big one, okay? The question you came to the table with, which is how do I modify my brand colors? So let's check your brand colors right now. Your brand colors are this blue and this blue. Now, what it looks to be to me is that you have gone ahead and changed colors for all these things yourself at some point, because that would be the only way that these would differ from your brand colors. That's why when you change your brand color, nothing happens. And you're like, hey, why don't I see any changes on my site despite having changed my brand color? These colors have at some point been modified or you deleted the brand color. So let's show you how you can easily fix this, okay? What I'm going to do, since these all seem like they're the same color, I'm going to find this color, whatever it is, go to my Style tab. Here it is. I'm going to copy this. And now I'm going to go to my brand colors. This is like a little hack, guys. Pay attention. Design colors, brand colors. I'm going to add a new brand color and paste in that code. For those of you who don't know this, every color of the rainbow has a 6-digit, we call it hex code, which is a unique identifier for that color. It's an easy way to locate this color on the color wheel very quickly. So I've added this as my brand color. Now that I've added as a brand color, it's going to identify all the instances of this color throughout my site so that if I were to now change this brand color to something else, look at that. It changes it. So we hacked our way into this. We saw that there's a color used a bunch of times throughout the site, and we created a brand color for that color, and then we changed the brand color. I hope this has helped someone because you've probably come across this before, and maybe that did the trick. Lisa, are we happy now? Are there two Lisas here? Yes, there are. All right. Lisa appreciates that. We're good to go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was mixing you guys too. Lisa Y and Lisa L. Okay. So that was Lisa Y's question, I believe. All right. Thank you for participating with me there. Pam says, Justin, please review how this new release works, which is the automated monthly website performance report. You beat me to it, Pam. I was going to close the whole session with this surprise feature release, but let's do it. So you're here on a very special day because just yesterday we launched something that I hope is going to make a lot of your lives very easy. Some of you have probably said at one point or another, gosh, I wish there was a way that I could just automate the process for sending website statistics to my client because they keep bugging me for them every month. And I have to go to the site and I have to go to the stats tab and I have to select the month or the period of time that I want to look at. And then I have to use a cropping tool or a screenshot thing to basically take a screenshot of this and then send it off to my client and hope they understand what the heck all this stuff means. Well, if that's you, if you've ever said that, hold on to your seats because from the site details page, we now have this thing called website performance report. And what this will allow you to do is send a white label version of that stats screen, all those major statistics, to the client or to whoever you want for that matter. Here's what it looks like. There's a sample, okay? Why is this tremendous? I thought we fixed this. Okay, bear with me here. It should not be this big. But what's going to happen is it's going to say website performance report for business name with the date. And then it's going to introduce them to the fact this is an overview for website activity for this month with a performance overview. Unique visitors, it defines what that means. Visits, it defines it. Page views, it defines it. Pages per visit, again, definitions for all these fun statistics. We list out the most viewed pages, the top 5. We list out the inbound links, top 5. We list out the top traffic sources. We list out all that stuff from the activity and mobile engagement section, and then a link to go visit their website. And this information at the bottom will have your business email address on there. And if they reply to this email, they're going to reply to you. Hopefully, this will make all your lives a lot easier for anyone who is currently sending stats to your clients, and that at this moment, there is no charge for it. If we do decide to roll out fees associated with this, you'll have plenty of heads up. But this is something you can start providing to your clients today. The thing is this, the first message is not going to get sent out until July 1st because these are monthly reports. So if you put their email address in today, and heck, put in yours also, like put in your client's email, comma, your email. And then on July 1st, you are going to get the email. Your client's going to get the email. You'll both be on the same page and see what they see. And that can be really helpful to you. Okay. Enjoy. Have fun with that. Manny says, how many people have moved out of their local area and started selling websites farther away? I'm looking to branch out from my small town. Let's do a poll and find out. Manny, I would love to help you out with that. Okay. New poll. Have you made a concentrated effort to sell sites outside of your local area? Yes, no, or I soon will. All right, the poll's there. Go ahead and submit your answer. Have you made a concentrated effort to sell sites outside of your local area? Yes, no, or I soon will. And you can fill that out, and Manny will know exactly how you all compare to what he's looking to do. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to all submit a vote, and then I'm going to read off the results for those of you who can't see them. All right. It looks like 18 of you voted. 19. Give me one more. 20. All right, good. So 20 of you voted, and 45% of you have said yes, I have made a concentrated effort to sell outside my area. 33% said I soon will. The majority of you have said no, 24%. So it likely could be in your future. Or those of you who are in very large areas, larger markets, you may feel like you don't have to because there's just an abundance of businesses in and around your area. All right. What else we got here? Oh, I skipped over this one. No, I'm going backward. I'm okay. Mylan says, I have a question. Should I add tax to client charges to cover the Stripes fee? Mylan, I have a personal feeling about this that may be different than yours, but I get so annoyed by going into a store, any type of business, and they tell me they're going to charge me 3% extra because of credit card fees. Come on. Really? You know you're just giving more to the credit card company that way, right? Because you're going to charge me 3% more, but then they're still taking their 3% on the charge. So you're just giving them more money. Like, where does that get you? It feels like I'm being targeted by choosing to pay with a card. I don't like it. I don't know how you feel, how your clients would feel. This is a cost of doing business. The credit card companies take from everybody. They take from everybody. So I kind of like limiting the amount of nickel and diming that we're doing with our clients and just say, here's the amount. If it's really bugging you that you're getting a percentage taken out from what you're charging your clients, then I don't know, just charge everybody more. But this is a cost of doing business. Everyone faces this. Jeff has a sales thought for us. A client sees a demo and still unsure. Tell them they were your first choice to contact and you are targeting their industry and have a list of their competitors and will be contacting them today and offering this great deal to them. Well, maybe not in those words. Okay, Jeff? If you don't buy this from me, I'm just going to call all your competitors because they're going to want this. But technically, that approach could be effective if you do it delicately. Okay? I don't know if I would, because it sounds like a little retaliatory. It's like, oh, you're not going to sign up today? Well, I'll get someone else to sign up. You could do it in a way it's like, the client says, I like this, I like everything you see, but I'm just not ready to move on this today. Listen, I totally understand, but out of respect for the amount of work that I put into this, just so you know, I do have to take this site offline. And I'll be totally honest with you, I did put a lot of work into this. I hope you won't get offended if I show off this design to other businesses in your industry locally, because I do want to find a way to get paid for the work that I've done. That might be a lighter way to say what it is that you're doing. You're almost asking for permission. And if they say, yeah, go ahead, that means they're probably not going to ever win them over. But if they're like, oh, you're asking my permission. Well, I mean, could you maybe wait a couple of days or a week or something like that? And then you find out, well, why would you want me to wait? Because I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind. So then you can say, well, look, why don't I just do this now? Like if you think that this might be something you want to do, I've already proven to you I'm capable of giving you something that clearly you think other businesses in your industry would want. Why don't we just move forward now? Why don't we get this site launched sooner rather than later? Don't go another day, a week, or month without a quality website that tells the world why you're so special and start getting some local search results for yourself instead of giving them away to your competitors. Denise says, when sending a credit card link to someone, how long is it good for? Uh, oh, I think it's 30 days. I don't know the exact answer, but I know there is. I'm pretty sure there's a time limit on it. It might be 30 days. It's far out enough where, like, if they're gonna give you the credit card, they're gonna give it to you. What I would recommend doing, though, Denise, is that if you've given someone the link and they're not taking action, I would create a new link and then send them that link. Say, hey, I'm not sure if you tried submitting your card in the old link, but that actually expired. Here's a new link for you, just for the sake of doing it. And it makes it feel a little more, oh, I should do this now before it expires again. So that might be a good technique to implement. Lisa L says, how do people find email addresses for small businesses, prospecting, and email campaigns? The best thing to do is Google the business. Google the business, and you will find a couple of different ways you can find email addresses. And I'm pretty sure we cover this in some of our training, but you will go to number one, if they have an existing site, a lot, especially older sites, will feature the email address for the business. That's number one. The second thing is go to Facebook. Their Facebook page will oftentimes feature their email address. The third thing is look on places like chambers of commerce. Oftentimes they will feature email addresses on their site or a link to email them, which opens up your email app, and then you can see the email address in there. The fourth way is call the business and ask them for their email address. You will be surprised how effective that is. Hey, I'm trying to send you guys something. What's the best email address to reach you at? Oh, it's harryspizza@gmail.com. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. Click, send them the email. Worst case scenario, if they have a website and none of these other things work, submit a form on their website with your message. Robert says, I'd like to add AI for my clients as an add-on. Is there a way to add an additional section for the payment plan on your website? Or are these two different questions? Let me see. I'd like to add AI for my clients as an add-on. Is there a way to add an additional section for the payment plan on your website? I'm assuming you are charging your clients for some AI service, and you want to make sure you can charge your clients appropriately by charging them more for that service. Does that sound right, Robert? Yes. Perfect. So here's what you're going to do. You are going to go to your setup upfront and recurring fee screen. You're going to click create new plan. Instead of just making this website monthly account, you're going to say website plus AI service, whatever this is. And whatever your setup fee, I should probably spell service right if I'm not, well, whatever. You guys get the idea. Your setup fee and your recurring monthly charge is going to be much higher for this additional service. Click create plan. And now you have this other thing that you can charge your client for. So you're not going to have two separate things you're billing your client for. You're going to combine them into one plan and then just charge them for that. If you've already got your client set up for the website service, but now you want to bill them for this other service, that's going to require changing their subscription. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to cancel the subscription on the site, on the current payment they have set up right now. Cancel it. Do not take the site offline. Keep it online. And then once it's canceled, you can reactivate on the new plan, and you don't have to re-enter the card information. We keep it. So that's how you would change someone from one monthly fee to another monthly fee if you were to upgrade someone like in this example. Denise says, I have a client that wants to start on 8/1 and he had me send him the credit card link now. Okay, well, look, just because he wants to start on 8/1, there's nothing stopping him from submitting the credit card information to you right this second and just trusting you that you are going to be charging his card not until the 1st. So I think he can trust you with that. And I know you, and I know he can trust you with that. Okay. Let's get back to some of the questions submitted beforehand because there's still some really good ones just here waiting for us to answer. So one of the other ones that came through that I really liked was from Tina. I actually she had a bunch of questions. You know what? I'm just going to get to this one first because this one, I haven't done this demo in a long time and I have a video. No, you know what? Mike, I owe you a response on this. Mike C, who is on my YouTube video here. Mike says, when adding alt tags to images, if you guys don't know what an alt tag is, it's when you roll over text or on a screen reader when you can't view images. some text appears instead of the image. It's great for people with visual disabilities. They will be able to hear, when the screen readers, they could hear what that image is all about. So he's like, when I use stock photos, they're technically not our clients' photos. Will it confuse the search engines if like two different companies use the same stock photo on their site and either and they enter different alt tags for the photo? Yeah, so that doesn't make a difference. Don't worry about what the search engines think. What's important is that the images are tagged for the business. It doesn't matter where they came from. It doesn't matter if they're sourced from stock photography or AI or their actual camera. What's important is that they are just tagged properly because it's more about finding the business's information easier by like doing image searches in addition to text searches. So that's what that's all about. Do not be worried about assigning proper alt tags regardless of where the image comes from. And just so you guys know, where would I do that? How would I assign image alt tags? I'll show you. If I click edit over here and I'll replace my image, like I'm not going to replace an image. I know we're just getting into our choose image library for a second. And when I do that, I am going to zoom in on this and I can add my image caption and add my alt tag. So the alt tag is basically just going to be a descriptive phrase. I think usually it's best to keep it like less than 10 words. That is going to incorporate in some way the industry or the business name along with what the image actually is. So since this is a real estate appraisal company, I might say something like um, real estate appraisal completion by first line appraisals. That would be a pretty good alt tag. Save that. You see this option here, mark as decorative. This is basically if you're using an image that serves no real good purpose and is just purely for, as the name implies, decorative purposes. This site doesn't really have any, but sometimes you just have like an image that's just there. Like even these, I would probably, I mean, you could do alt text, but yeah, this doesn't really have any. If you had some sort of like funky transition or just like um, something purely for design, you would label as decorative. All right, Jason said, is there a way to set a default font size and color for a specific section on the site so I don't have to manually adjust the text formatting each time I add a new entry? For example, I'm working on a restaurant menu and would like all the items to follow the same style automatically. Jason, I hear you on this. I'm going to submit this as a feature request, but at this time, we don't have a way to set a standard ahead of time when doing a post. Best thing I can recommend when doing menus is just copy and paste the lines and just modify the text within after you paste it in. All right, we got this one from Alexis, who's asking, how do you demo can you do a demo on adding reputation management, especially as it deals with the HTML code? I'm being challenged by this one. When adding reputation management, you have an option titled Google My Business. You have to enter the business name in zip, but when I added my client's business name to the field, his business doesn't come up. Will it affect his reviews in any way besides why it can't be found? Alexis, if you're here, I'm not sure if you are, but if you are, give me the name of the business. I will do this with you and show you what to expect if perhaps this is not what you're looking for. In the meantime, Pam asks, will SiteSwan be implementing AI for content, etc.? Thank you. We're actively working on it right now, and it's going to be pretty cool. Robert says, how do you handle situations when a client stops paying the recurrent billing? What do you mean by stops paying? Is it just like they missed the payment? You have to use your discretion, folks. When someone misses a payment, you have to be using your gut, your instinct, and your discretion to make sure that you are not going to significantly affect negatively your relationship with the client if you take the site offline because of lack of payment. Ultimately, if they do not pay and don't have plans on paying, I would suggest that you consider taking the site offline. But until then, try to be reasonable, try to get them to pay, give them other options to pay, ask them, find out what's going on. No one wants their site taken down. There's probably something else going on. A lot of businesses get super, super busy and just don't have, they don't have um, a good handle on what's going on with the payments that they're making with their website. All right, so Alexis gave us the name of the business. So here's the fun part, okay? Can you give me a zip code also, Alexis? 35750. All right. So I'm going to show you guys what I see. If I do a quick Google search, here's what I get. I'm doing the name of the business and the zip code. What I end up seeing is this: Vargas Handyman Services, LLC. Is this the actual name of the business according to Google? Do these things line up? Is this the business? That's their old name. Okay. So if it's their old name, it would be nice if this could be updated, but it's not going to be critical to getting this service set up for them. If you have gotten access to their Google business profile, you will be able to change the name that appears over here. But it does require validating this listing with the business owner to get access to it, and then you can go and make the change. But for now, what I would do is copy and paste this exactly as you see it appearing for you to set up the reputation management for them. So when you're setting up reputation management, you're going to go right over here and paste in the business exactly as it appears. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'll tell you what goes on here. Notice how they don't have a physical address listed. A lot of businesses in this industry will not have a physical address listed. So you have to put in the zip code. You cannot select it from the dropdown because the dropdown that we're using is only referencing businesses that have a physical location listed on Google. So I'm going to paste in the zip code and then click generate free report. This is going to take a few minutes, but what should happen is I'm going to get both of these Google reviews pop up so that I can get the report done properly. I also see they have a Facebook page, which may or may not be them. I don't know. Seems like it might be 256566442. Yeah. So if I wanted to, I can grab this URL and I can add it to my report so that I can get a more robust sample report. Okay. And Lisa is still struggling with her color change. Lisa, I'm just going to demonstrate this one more time for you because I want to make sure you get this solved. So Lisa, what's happening is this. I added brand color 3. Okay. This is the color that appears throughout your site. What you are going to do is make sure if you're looking for a different color, click this and then change the color to whatever you want it to be. You got to make sure you've selected this first because this is the color you want to change. Make your change, click save. I'm going to let you do that. Let me know if you are still struggling. This will take a few minutes, but when it does, you can click this link and you can view the report in all its glory. Now, the rest of this process, we have step-by-step instructions for in our support console. I'm not going to go through the whole process of paying for this, but what you will do is you'll click this, you'll click buy now, it'll process. Once you've processed it, meaning you already sold it, then you're going to get presented with the option to set up the automatic emails that go out with the reputation management reports. And at that point, only at that point, you'll have the code to embed the intelligent review request form. So it's after you pay that you get access to those things that are paid features. This free report that you're generating is purely to sell the service. Everything else is after you've sold it, after you've paid for it, then you can go in and move on from there. And same thing applies to you. If you have upsold your client to a different service, you're going to view and manage the recurring subscription, cancel it, then reactivate their billing with the new plan that accommodates the additional fee for reputation management. All right. So that was Alexis's question. I think I might have gotten to all these questions that were submitted ahead of time. Let me just double check. Tina's question. So Tina says she's going to be meeting with a potential client during the time, but I really want to make sure I get these questions answered for Tina. So, rapid fire. What's the best size to upload a photo for the favicon feature? You generally don't want to use photos. Look what YouTube does. It's a very simple icon. For Ideal Directory, we use a little thing for Ideal. Facebook uses their icon. You don't want complex photos. Ultimately, it doesn't make a difference what you upload to the fave icon because we're going to use it. We're going to cram it down to teeny tiny size anyway. But it's better to have simple imagery, preferably square. Those are the two rules. Tina says, why do my photos and logos become blurry when cropped? Are you cropping within the platform or somewhere else? I can't think of a good reason why all of a sudden they would become blurry if they didn't start off blurry. So if you have a particular image that you're finding is blurry after being cropped in some way strange form, and it's done on our platform, please send it our way and we will look at it. Tina says, is there a way to have images or text linked to specific sections? I know how to link to specific pages, but how do we do that? So yes, so we call this anchor links. And let me take you to support.siteswan.com, which is also available from here, top of the site, click support. And I'm going to show you something called anchor, okay? Adding links to sections of the same page, we call this an on-page anchor link. Follow these instructions, and if you can't, reach out to our support. Tell us what you're trying to do. We will record a video for you to show you exactly how it's done for your specific site. Tina also has a feature request to get ombre backgrounds, which means it's going to be a gradient background from one color to a different color. I love that. And yes, I just can't tell you exactly when, but yes. And if I want to make a website for myself, she says, like for a different purpose outside of web design, can I do that? Tina, this is your business. These are your sites. You can do whatever you damn well please. So absolutely. If you need help with that, if you're not sure, like I don't even know what type of website this would be, but if we have a theme for it, fantastic. If we don't, reach out and maybe we can do a theme for you. All right. Any final questions before we wrap up here? I don't want to keep you guys too long. Denise says, how can I resize a photo to make it fit in banners, elongated photos without cropping it? How can I resize a photo to make it fit in banners or elongated photos? So when I hear banners, I think like horizontal across. When I hear elongated, I think of tall. Some photos, Denise, based on the composition, will work really well for wide versus tall. You have to take a look at the photo initially and say, so what am I trying to say? There's not really a good way to cram down an image to be portrait or to stretch out an image to be landscape or elongated. I would definitely recommend that you either start with a photo that achieves that, or you pick a photo that if you take a section of it, it would work well. Denise, if there is a specific use case for this, please send a support ticket with it because I think we could give you some additional ideas that you may not realize you have. Lisa wants a reminder on how to get website monthly activity, site details page. Thank you, Brian, for saying that. Scroll down to the right, website performance report. Just type in their email address. Oh, Pamela's got another question about how do I do this thing that you guys just added. So check this out. Pamela is interested in the icons feature, which we have recently rolled out. So I want to show you what that's like. I'm gonna go to my sites. Now, this particular site is using an old version of icons where these icons are actually images, okay? But now we have the ability to actually turn these into actual icons. So what this is going to require that you're doing is using a columns section. A columns section. You will only find icons in a columns section. Guys, where will you find icons? What type of post? What type of section? Columns. Yes. You have to start with a column section. If you have one on the site already, like I do here, fantastic. If you don't, add a new section, click on columns, and then add it to the site. And what you're going to do is you're going to edit this and you are going to modify the first column, and then you're going to choose your media. So instead of an image or video, I'm going to choose icon. And once I do that, I can search through a library of icons. Like I think the other one was hands shaking, and I can find one that's appropriate, like this one. And I can add that in, select it, and embed this as part of this first option. My next one is maybe going to be, let's see, click OK. This one is going to be another icon. This is going to be, I don't know, money. And any of these would work. I don't know. Let's choose this one. Click Edit to my icon library, and I'm going to select it and get it embedded onto this post. And then my third one, after I click OK, this is going to be, I don't know, star. I don't know. You can search for pretty much anything here. Add it to my image library, select it again, and now I've got 3 really cool icons that are added into my post. And check this out. I can change my icon colors one at a time. I can use a brand color if I'd like to. Save that, click OK. Go to my second column, change my icon color to my other brand color. I don't know why you would do this, but whatever. And then I'll go to my first column and change this to my other brand color. I'd recommend keeping them all the same, but I'm just trying to show you the flexibility that you have to modify the icons on a per icon basis. So that's how you do that. It's got to be a columns post type, column section. Okay. Alexa says, once embedded and I look at the live site, it's not showing that customer review page. I wish Justin would get it in there for me. The customer review page. I'm not showing the customer review page. Let's go back in there. Did you delete? Oh, wait a second. What happened to my? Did I just run this one? Is someone messing with me? Didn't I add it to this site? Am I going crazy right now? Did you all see me add it to this site? It was a different page. What did I do wrong? All right. Thank you, Brian, for taking over on that one. Okay, we're good. Cool. Let me go back here. Last couple questions here before we wrap it up. All right. James says, how do I get analytics of my website? I have connected my page to Google Analytics, but there isn't any activity. I've been running Facebook ads to my website. I see the ads coming in, but I can't track any data from the pages. James, if you can't see site traffic in Google Analytics, I would venture to say that maybe it's not set up correctly. Do me a favor, submit a support ticket with the site in question and your Google profile ID. It's going to start with G something, and that is going to allow you to, it's going to have this format right here, G dash something, 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 something. All right. This is what should appear in this box. And once that's done, you should be seeing everything in there. And then once that gets resolved, we can help you out with your other questions as well. All right, Lakitha says, I know that's in the training modules, but can you show how to show a mock site to a client? That way I won't just email to them to look at it whenever they have time. Lakitha, I started to go over this a little bit, but I'm going to highly recommend, because we took a lot of time to prepare these videos, watch lesson number 9. This takes it from start to finish, exactly what you have to do to present the site to somebody. Mike appreciates the icons, saying they're amazing. I'm glad you like them. All right. Leroy says, I have a potential client, but their site never shows up in the prospecting tool at all. How do you find pure virtual clients or clients with only Facebook and podcasts but no visuals? So, Leroy, that's not what the prospecting tool is ultimately best used for, because the majority of businesses have a little bit more of a quote unquote physical presence in the world, and they're much easier to locate. The prospecting tool isn't perfect in finding those harder to find, harder to locate harder to identify businesses. So if you have someone who you are trying to build a site for and you know what the business is called, do not feel that using the local prospecting tool is the only way to create a site for them. You can go to the create new site screen and you can choose exactly the theme that you want by typing in the business name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, email address. You could put all this in yourself without finding it in the local prospecting tool. So if you know who you're trying to build a site for, go and do it. And you don't need visuals at all, actually. We don't reference any visuals the business has. We use exclusively the themes that we spent a lot of time and energy putting together to make them look their best. Anything else as we go over the hour mark by 15 minutes? Let's do it, guys. It's Friday. I'm going to remind you the day's not over. I'm going to remind you that weekends are a great time to sell. I want all of you to put in some time the rest of today. I want you to put in some time this weekend. I want you to put in some time next week. You might be finding some people are out of town. Some people are on vacation. Some people are hard to contact. Don't make excuses. Keep going, keep calling, keep emailing, keep reaching out, keep texting, keep doing all the stuff you would normally do despite people being hard to reach right now. Do not give up. Put in that effort because the summertime is an absolute great time to be selling sites to small businesses. Keep it going. Don't slow down. All right. You guys have been awesome with submitting questions and being prompt and answering my polls and all this fun stuff. Thank you to my moderators who have been super attentive to everyone's questions. I hope you all appreciate that. Anyone who I told to submit a ticket, please go ahead and submit a ticket. If you love us and want to tell the world about how fantastic it's been being a part of the SiteSwan family for so long, you can just type in a Google search for SiteSwan, click on Google Reviews, submit a review for us by clicking Write a Review, and go from there. I'm not asking for a 5-star review, but if you gave one, I would not be upset with you. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you here. Have a great day, a great weekend. We'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.